The right attitude of a mystic. A true mystic should devote himself to the four supreme virtues of God: the eternal light, all-embracing love, divine wisdom, omniscience, omnipotence, and cosmic consciousness. The number 4 refers to the four elements. Wisdom and omniscience, for example, belong to the element of air. It is necessary to align everything you do with God and with the divine virtues. Only then will you always behave correctly. In fact, it is very simple. Everything you do, do it in the name of love, do it with wisdom, do it with an enlightened mind, and do it with the necessary strength and confidence. In fact, simple, true, and useful. When you are faced with a task or a challenge, ask yourself what is wise, how would a spiritual master do it, how would God do it, how can you do it so that God is pleased with the results. The goal is not to be perfect, the goal is to do something as well as it can be done. The ancient mystics considered life itself as a way to worship God, a way to serve God, to honor God by serving in light, love, and wisdom. Thus you can indeed dedicate your life to high spiritual ideals. On the other hand, remember that you also have the right to personal happiness, personal desires, and so on. In the best case, you combine both your spiritual goals and your personal goals for perfect happiness. As for duality, light and darkness, the constructive and destructive principle, darkness is not an option. God is pure light, and all spiritual seekers are on the way to become beings of light. And if you are afraid of darkness, then you must become light in order to make the darkness disappear. Imagine you are a small child and you are afraid of the darkness in your room. What helps immediately? By turning on the light in the room. Light and darkness are two opposite poles of polarity, and only one pole can exist in you at the same time, light or darkness. Always consciously stay in the light to protect yourself from darkness and dark temptations. Fears, anger, hatred, etc. are aspects of darkness and can easily trap you. Consciously counter them with the positive, opposite qualities of light. When fear wants to take you, respond with assertiveness and confidence. When anger wants to rise, respond with love, understanding, and compassion. Do these things consciously to stay in the light. Ask for enlightenment, for spiritual help, for protection. Be a light in this world and stay in the light. Darkness lacks light and longs for light, for love, but do not become its victim. Light means abundance. Darkness means misery and neediness. Understand this. Darkness longs for salvation. Creation is characterized by duality. We have a constructive, creative principle and we have a destructive principle. Both are part of creation. In the material world there is no life without death. This is something that is not beautiful, but it is reality, certainly with a mystery behind it. So the first thing is to accept this, and the second is to understand how to deal with both principles. You are an ambassador of the positive principle, and you must respect both poles of duality. That is, you embody the positive principle which works for the enlightenment and progress of humanity. The negative destructive principle you must bring completely under control. Destructive forces must always be controlled. This applies to dangerous dogs. This is true for all kinds of weapons, for the army, for everything that is destructive. And become aware that destruction is not always evil or bad, but often necessary and also positive. When you destroy something bad, something evil, or something that is broken, you are doing something good. Destruction is often necessary to create something new out of something old. The best example of the duality of the creative and destructive principles is martial artists. A trained martial artist is himself a dangerous weapon, a perfect tool of destruction. But martial artists in particular have perfect control over their destructive power and are also very peaceful and well balanced. So they actually represent the positive principle while controlling the negative principle. They use their destructive power only in emergencies and only as far as necessary. That is perfect. What can we learn from them? Cultivate both principles toward perfection to become a true master of duality. By mastering the destructive principle, you achieve inner peace, self-assertion, power, happiness, and inner freedom. In the best case, you even master both principles, both poles of duality in general, to achieve perfection. Later in your spiritual development, you climb the peaks of light. You automatically become aware of the meaning of darkness and what the dark ones do, what strategies and goals they have, and you understand the dark hierarchy, the dark beings, and the secrets of darkness. This is something that happens automatically. The more light you recognize, the more darkness you can see and understand. But this is not something you need to think about or be afraid of now. I just wanted to say that you will understand all the principles of creation as you climb the spiritual ladder. Just make sure to accept and respect all the principles of creation and completely master the destructive principles. Also try to understand the secrets of creation, because we humans perceive only a very small part of what is going on. In general, maintain a good connection with the spiritual realms, your spiritual guide, your spiritual teachers, masters, higher brothers and sisters, the angels, the hierarchy of light and God. It means staying open to divine inspiration, divine intuition, and divine guidance. And it means praying and communicating with the higher worlds on a regular basis. Show an attitude of gratitude for all the good things and blessings of heaven. Ask for support, for insights, for the right understanding of issues. Ask for the strength, the love, and the wisdom to face all your challenges in the right way. Show your love and devotion to God and the spiritual realms. Cultivate oneness with the Divine Spirit in love and light. Be a humble vessel for the Divine Spirit, for only a humbled soul is able to carry divine power and listen to divine inspiration. This again is part of the mystery of duality. The humbler you are, the more divine power you can carry. Thus, indeed, those masters who partake of the nature of omnipotence are at the same time supremely humble and thus perfect vessels or temples of the divine spirit. And then beware that you are in a process of development. You are not already perfect. So observe yourself, your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. Observe what is good, what is bad, and what could be better. Always work on your refinement, on your inner balance. Remember also what Bardon said about the character of an adept. The noble master is always kind, always noble, always generous, always ready to help and support, always wise, kind and compassionate, always strong and good-natured, always respectful, always tolerant of the thoughts of others, but hard on your own thoughts. Just remember to keep working on yourself until you resemble a polished diamond that perfectly shows all the colors of the divine mind. With these things in mind, you will make good progress and experience a positive, happy life. Do not forget yourself completely, because that is not rightful. Show respect and love for your own being, for your own needs and desires. You will experience that all kinds of needs, desires, and wishes will disappear more and more in the course of your education and refinement, as you become more and more saturated and balanced with the divine energies. But respect the desires that are still there and love not only God, humanity, and creation, but also yourself. Then everything will be perfect.